What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ Prospect Profile. Still going to focus in on our Nashville Predators prospect and current Boston University defenseman Garrett Noonan. A big fan of the show and a good friend of mine. A little background on Garrett. Got drafted in the 4th round, 112th overall by the Preds this year, after being passed over in two drafts, 2009 and 2010. And we all know Nashville is a knack for finding diamonds in the rough in the draft. You look at Patrick Hornquist was Mr. Relevant back in 2005. Shea Weber fell to the 2nd round in 2003. That was one of the best drafts of all time. But Shea Weber's the best defenseman in hockey, and I think every team is still kicking themselves that they had a chance to nab him and didn't. Of course, Weber also put on 4 inches and about 50 pounds after the draft, so it's kind of, you look at his body built in 2003 versus where it is now, and it's two totally different things. You go up and down that lineup. So many guys that got passed over. Pecorine got passed over in 2 drafts and went like the 7th round in 2004. And he's one of the best goalies in the NHL. I can just sit here for days and talk about guys that have come up through the system that even Kimmo Timonen a couple years ago, one of their franchise leaders in points, now playing for the Flyers. He was a supplement. He was a expansion draft pick that I think LA gave up on. Bakun got given up on by someone. They just find these diamonds in the rough and they turn them into great players. I think Garrett's got that ability. But back to Garrett. Played 3 years of varsity hockey at Catholic Memorial for legendary coach Bill Hansen, and then took his talents to the West Coast and played for the Vernon Vipers in 2009-2010. Won the RBC Cup and enrolled at BU last year as a freshman. They had a great incoming freshman class, and he was kind of flew under the radar. They had a few guys that were 1 first-round pick in Charlie Coyle, and 2 guys that were high prospects, and Adam Glendening and Matt Nieto. All 3 of them great players, and Garrett kind of flew under the radar and had a very good freshman year, surpassing expectations of almost everyone but himself, having 15 points in 38 games and 89 penalty minutes, so we're going to see a lot of that, but we'll talk about the Pims in a second. This year he's one of 5 NCAA defensemen with double-digit goals. His goals to assist numbers are 2-1, which is rare for a defenseman, but we'll talk about that. He's got 16 points on the year. He's already surpassed his point total from last year. Tripled his goal total and has halved his assist total. That'll catch up, I'm sure. Got a great shot from the point. Isn't afraid to let it loose. And the other thing is the instincts in the offensive zone. We saw that on display at CM, 3-4 years ago, and honing them, they've gotten better. The backdoor pass, he's really good at calling for that. And being a force in the offensive zone, he's a really mobile defenseman out there. He never stays put, which isn't a bad thing, because you really can't zone in on him where he's gonna be on the power play. The hockey IQ is evident because you get to see the open spot and go to it. That's the best way to score in the power play, and he's perfected that this year. Like to see his assist totals go up a little bit. His partner, Chicago Blackhawks prospect Adam Glendening's kind of racking up the apples, and Garrett's getting the goal, so I guess they cancel each other out. But last night in the Beanpot tournament, which we talk about in this article, had 2 goals in the championship game, falling short to Boston College, BU's biggest rival. Not something you want to see as a BU fan, but 2 goals and 4 penalty minutes, something you gotta. That's his call that an average Garrett Noonan stat line. The goals and the Pims, and that's that's what it's all about. Good shot, and always every single scrum after whistle, he's right in the middle of it, and that's a good thing. You need the scrappiness out there, and with an adept 2-way game, some toughness and some offensive ability, you got a guy that's going to play in the show eventually. I think, like I said, a diamond in the rough. I think he's going to need all 4 years of BU to develop, and possibly some time in Milwaukee, but I think Predators fans, you're in for something. Great personality on the ice, too. Loves getting the fans involved, and was a fan favorite. Was voted a fan favorite by some poll at BU, and was definitely a fan favorite at CM for the sellies and the antics on the ice. So that's it for the Power Play with CJ Prospect Profile on Garrett Noonan. Best of luck the rest of the year, Garrett. Thanks for the tickets, obviously, and stay tuned for more episodes throughout the season. Later, guys.